All, I would like to thank ISS for giving this opportunity, and thanks to all of you for coming and for your interest in this topic. Now, the topic might look, quite mysterious, so to say. There is the word mysterious in this. The nature of a spiriton. So, what is a spiriton? And the mysterious God particle. So, trying to connect the two things, what you might have been hearing for several years, God particle. The physicists tried to discover the God particle, and then we will offer another understanding of God particle. Okay, so the contents of the presentation, we will have a very brief invocation, then we'll talk about the goddamn particle, so to say, a real goddamn particle. Then we'll get into slowly and slowly into the real God particle, okay? The origin of the spiriton, uh, defining the spiriton. You may be wondering what is spiriton? So what are the symptoms, what are the dimensions, and so on. Then the context and the setting in which this knowledge is being given to the whole humanity. And then slowly and slowly, step by step, we learn where have we been. We have all been here. Journey of transmigration, then the bona fide knowledge, then again continuing defining the spiriton, two types of spiriton, then pre-qualification of uh, capturing the glories of the soul or glories of the spiriton. I now disclose what a spiriton means. Okay. And the relationship with the super spiriton, the relationship of the spiriton with the super spiriton, or let's say the success of the spiriton or the purpose of spiriton. Okay, so we will slowly and slowly try to do that. I hope you will continue all the way up to the end. We have about 45 minutes or an hour, and I can tell you this will be a very interesting uh, talk, an interesting subject for you to hear, and I'm sure you will take many things home. So quickly, Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyaham Dadati Swapadantikam. Meaning that I was born in the darkest ignorance. And I meaning the whole humanity, everybody is born in darkness. And then my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. So we have a number of teachers all through our life, and eventually if we get a spiritual master beyond the material master, material teachers, and then the spiritual teacher. So the spiritual teacher opens the eyes with the torch of knowledge, and I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, and I seek his blessings so that we can make this talk a success. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? So I seek his blessing to make this topic, this talk, interesting for all of you. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. So I seek blessings of Krishna, then I seek blessings of Radharani. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्ति वृंदा. I seek the blessings of Panchatattva and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is an incarnation of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desha Tarine. I seek the blessings of ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, who has given this knowledge to us in an extremely concise and summarized and most rational and logical form. And then I seek the blessings of my Guru. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी इति नामिने प्रभुपादस्य साहित्यमे प्रकाश्य वितिरिच प्रचारं कृतवान् साधुभक्ताय ते नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लांघयते गिरि यत्कृपातम् अहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणे परमानन्दमाधवम्। So I hope we will now start with an interesting topic, and I'll be able to satisfy your curiosity. So the thing is that this God particle, they called it as God particle. Uh, and what was that? Actually, uh, physicists were working for a very, very long time. And you might have heard Large Hadron Collider, which was set up somewhere in Switzerland, which is the world's largest and highest energy particle accelerator. The particle physics people and college physics, you would have heard, accelerator, and where you try to understand the nature of you carry out experiment with proton, electron, and all that, atomic particles. So they spent trillions of dollars in doing this research, and there were, around 20,000 scientists from all over the world in their laboratories and different parts of the world were working for over 4 decades to do what? To find out a particle which was, there was a hypothesis that a particle like that exists, and which is crucial to define certain other theories. For example, the basic fundamental particles like electron and proton, for their mass, how much mass is there on these particles. So they had assumed, but they had to establish existence of this particle called Higgs particle. And for that, they tried to carry out experiments over a very long period. And because it was very difficult to find, so the scientists, out of frustration, started calling it as goddamn particle. Okay, so there is nothing god or divine about this particle. They just wanted to, find it, and because of that, they started calling it a goddamn particle. But then what happened? So they discovered this in 2012. They were able to find that during this experiment that yes, there is a particle called, they gave this name Higgs particle, and then what happened that some of the publishers and out of the marketing of the whole thing, they said we can't call it as goddamn particle, we will call it as God particle. So that's how this name came, God particle, actually. So as I said, that there is nothing divine or godly about this particle. This is just another material particle. Okay. But then what happened, that after having discovered, having spent so much time, energy, money, resources and all, they are saying that no, this is not yet the fundamental particle. There are other more fundamental particles yet to be discovered. So then what is it? What is the use of spending so much money and all? And then you say, oh, well, we have still not discovered God particle. So now let's see. Now let's look at what Vedic culture, what Vedic scriptures are telling about what is God particle, what is real God particle, okay, and what is the nature of the God particle, and then going forward from there. Okay. So origin of the spiriton. Now spiriton is, what is spiriton? We will see it few slides down. So first we have to start that from where the whole universe is created. Okay, in Brahma Samhita it is said that Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidanand Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. The last line is Sarva Karana Karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna, he is the supreme Lord, and he is the cause of all causes. So how the creation takes place? Now we are talking about a particle, God particle. That means a material thing. So all material and all spiritual things are being created by Krishna. He is the cause of all causes. He is the creator. So from him, this is Krishna, and from him, his plenary expansion is Vishnu. This is Mahavishnu or Karanodakshaya Vishnu. Okay, and from Karanodakshaya Vishnu is another expansion called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is and from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu you have another Vishnu who is present in each and every living entity, who is present in each and every Garbhodakshaya Vishnu creates numerous Karanodakshaya Vishnu creates numerous universes, and in each of these universes there is one Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And this is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Okay. And from his navel comes Brahma. And he is eternally, residing in his abode. But he is also the, creator and the maintainer. He creates Brahma, and then Brahma in turn creates. So origin of the spiriton is coming from there. This Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is present in every living entity, as is illustrated in this painting on the right. He is present in human being, in all other living entities, all animals, all vegetation, etc. Okay, so this is the real God particle. Actually, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is present in each and every living entity, as well as in all the atoms and all the matter. Okay, but it is difficult for scientists to appreciate or perceive. So let's go further down. So what happens now? What is the spiriton and what is its origin? Basically, origin is here, Vishnu. Okay, Krishna. Vishnu and Krishna are not different. Krishna in his home, in his residence, is known by the name Krishna, Govinda, Gopal, Madhav, etc. He has thousands and thousands of names. But in his official position, he is known as Vishnu, and Vishnu has multiple expansions, as I showed. Now, Krishna, spiriton means, like during in this whole presentation, we will be using these terms interchangeably. So don't get confused. I thought, let me define it right early on. Spiriton means soul. We are talking about the soul. In Hindi, we call it Atma. Okay. And then living entity, Jiva, is also the same thing. Super spiriton means Paramatma, super soul. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And his plenary expansion and his expansion. Okay. Plenary expansion is Vishnu, and then further expansion is Paramatma. So this is, Paramatma is residing in each and every living entity. That is Paramatma. Okay. And, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that Mame Vansha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, meaning that living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. So Krishna is saying that all of us, each and everybody, everybody is his fragmental part. And it's like, the sun and the sun rays, and the rays carry, millions of small particles. So the particles are emanating along, the rays are emanating from the sun. So similarly, the living entities are emanating from the Supreme, here on the right. On the left, you see the sun, and the particles or the sun rays are coming. The light particles are coming. The photon particles are coming. So similarly, the spiritons are coming from the super spiriton. Okay, this is how you have to look at it. Okay, going further. So now let us see where this knowledge is coming from. Okay, the context is the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where millions of spiritons were standing on both sides, ready to kill each other, and they were ready to fight and get whatever, kingdom to win over the Kauravas, win over the Pandavas, and the Pandavas are trying to regain their lost kingdom. So millions of spiritons were standing on both sides. Okay, and in that at that moment, Arjuna got confused. Okay, Arjuna was the dearest spiriton of the Lord, and he got confused. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? I am here to fight, but suddenly he finds that there are very dear spiritons of his. He was dearest spiriton of Krishna, his friend, but he also has many other, spiritons, his great grandfather and his teachers and his cousins and all that. So he got confused that whether I should kill them or I should not kill them. So there, then Krishna took this opportunity to give him an absolute objective understanding of the situation. Okay, and that is where Bhagavad Gita was spoken. And in that, he spoke in 45 minutes and he gave a profound knowledge for the whole civilization, for the whole humanity. So what he does, he defines the spiriton. Okay, instead of getting right away into many of the other things, he said, okay, first of all, I should explain to you what is the meaning of the spiriton. Okay, spiriton means the soul, and the knowledge of the supreme spiriton then he gives, and then the yoga ladder where he defines karma yoga and then gyan yoga and so on, and the bhakti yoga and so on, and then he defines the three modes of material nature, etc. Okay, and then finally he says, you better surrender to me and just do it as I say, just do it, so Krishna then objectively explained to him the whole thing. So here we are trying to now get a good understanding of the first part of what knowledge he gave to Arjuna in the second chapter. Okay, so we are talking about verse number 2.13 onward, 2.12 or 13 onward from to 2.30. 2.12 to 2.30. That's all. This is where he defines spiriton, and then afterwards he keeps on defining about the super spiriton. That means about himself and also many other things. But right now we will focus only on this, and that means that is what I mean. We are taking a deep dive into the spiritual knowledge. So the setting is like this. As I said, Arjun got confused, and then he says that now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. Okay, in this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me, because until now they were all, both of them were friends. Arjun was considering Krishna as his friend. But now he says that I am your surrendered disciple. I am a surrendered soul. I am a disciple, and you better instruct me, you guide me. So then he continues saying that I can find no means to drive away my grief, which is drying up my senses, because he was anticipating that he would kill so many of his relatives and so on. So he says, I'll not be able to dispel it even if I win prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like that of the demigods in heaven. So he says, no, I don't want all that opulence, all that wealth and kingdom and all that at the cost of killing of so many of my dear ones. So Krishna says, no, forget it. I mean, what are you talking? You're talking like a learned guy, but actually you're not, talking the real knowledge. So then he starts saying that, look, never was there a time when I do 2.12, Krishna says, Natvevaham jatu nasam, natvam neme janadhipa, na cheva na bhavishyama, sarve vayamatah param. Meaning, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these things, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So he is trying to now pacify Arjun. That look, we have all been here, all these times we have all been here. So all living entities are eternal and retain individuality. That is the main message that comes out of this verse. And so therefore he's saying that, don't worry, don't lament for the people who are going to lose their life in this battle, because he will continue to explain why he need not worry. But he's saying that, look, there was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, or all these things, nor in future shall anyone of us cease to be. It's just that he's saying, that he is a super spiriton and this Arjun is spiriton. The Arjun super spiriton knows the past and the present and the future, and he has memory of all of his previous lives. But spiriton Arjun, he doesn't have his previous life memory. So he says In 2.13 he says that Dehino asmin yatha dehe komaram yoganam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. And this is a very popular and important verse, important shloka. What it says, this is actually journey of transmigration of a spiriton. And here it says, as the embodied soul continuously passes in his body from boyhood, from, the soul takes a body and then the birth takes place and then he grows, the graph is going up, his height is growing up, his weight is going up, his intelligence is going up, understanding is going up. Then he becomes in the middle age and then he comes again and then he's on the downward and then he ends. So he says that the embodied soul continuously passes in his body from boyhood to youth to old age. The soul similarly passes into another body at death. So like this, death, and then there is no end. Not that, the soul will go and merge somewhere or disappear. No, it will continue. It will continue its onward journey like a helix. It will either go in an upward helix or it will go into an downward helix according to the karma. And there is no guarantee that, the next birth will be like a human birth. It can trip. The soul can trip and get into another species according to the karma. So, but never mind, he says that, there is no end to the journey of the soul. It will keep transmigrating. It will keep traveling from one body to another body. Okay. So a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So because Arjuna was getting, confused and bewildered and getting morose. So he says, no, don't you worry. This is anyway the principle of the migration or transmigration of the soul. That will continue. Okay. So continue to fight. You better fight rather than, give up your bow and run away from the battlefield. So he is motivating, he's encouraging, and he's, telling in many, many ways. So what will happen that during these next, verses until 2.30, he will again and again emphasize on the nature of the soul. Many times he will repeat, actually. He will repeat on many of the things, that the soul is eternal, soul is indestructible, and so on. So don't get irritated or, bored that if the same thing keeps coming, because, the situation was like that. You can imagine, millions of people were standing on both sides and they were about to start fighting. And suddenly he becomes confused. So Arjun he required to be motivated in a major way. So Krishna took that responsibility. Now Krishna says that those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, that means the material body, because material body is non-existent. They say when the body ends, when the death happens, what happens? They go and either do cremation or they do burial. So meaning that is not permanent. The body is impermanent. The material body is non-existent. That those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, meaning impermanent, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, that is the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both meaning body and the soul, or the material and the spiritual. So this is Srila Prabhupada. He has given us this knowledge. All this translation and the purport which is given in Bhagavad Gita as it is coming from him. And he has learned it from a disciplic succession, from his guru, from their guru, and so on, going to Narad Muni and Brahma and then Krishna. So this knowledge is coming from all the way from Krishna through a disciplic succession, like the chief professor and then the assistant professor and then the assistant professor and the assistant professor. So like that, all qualified, no unauthorized teacher in between. So all this knowledge is bona fide, authoritative, and we have to take it in that way. We have no doubt on what the knowledge is being transmitted to us. So now in the next verse, Krishna is saying, Avinashi tu tadviddi yena sarvamidam tatam vinashama vyayasya na kaschit kartu marhati. Meaning, he's saying that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Now he is now talking about the nature of the spiriton. This is the title of the talk today. So what is this? that which is pervading in the entire body, like this. Now take this soul here. Because of the soul, the whole body is animated. And you get uh, sensation from top to bottom because of the soul. Consciousness, therefore, I mean, if you touch, let's say, your toe or your top of the head, you get a feeling that, yeah, somebody is touching it. So, meaning there is this understanding, there is this perception, there is this, you're conscious of someone, something touching. So, that is the symptom of the spiriton. If the spiriton is present in the body, that means one would be conscious. One would be aware of what is happening. Thanda hai, garam hai, चुभ रहा है, and so on. कहीं दुख रहा है, जैसे ये इसके पेट में दुख रहा है, तो it is conscious of the pain in the body. Now I cannot feel the pain of this person, but only he can feel the pain of this person. So now there is another thing, like the dead body. The dead body, it is kept on on ice, or this is the freezer. If it has to be kept for several hours to prevent decomposition and to prevent odor and all that. So now a person who is alive cannot be kept on ice for such a long time, but a dead body can be kept because it would not complain. It is not conscious. Now the consciousness is gone. It cannot react, it cannot protest. Whereas a live person or even a live animal won't stand there for more than 4 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that is maximum. Yeah. So slowly and slowly we have to understand what is the nature of the consciousness, nature of the spiriton. The spiriton will, if it is present, it will not allow one to be sitting on the slab of ice for a long time. And this is so here, that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. It is indestructible. Krishna is saying that even if the soul is indestructible, even if you kill those enemies on the other side, the soul will not be killed. So don't you worry. That is what he is trying to convey, that they will get new bodies and they will have their own transmigration. They will keep on traveling to different planets or come back to the same planet, material world, and so on. So don't you worry. Okay. Now defining some early definition. So what spiriton means? Spiriton, that is the basic principle of material body. Without spiriton, it's like a dead body. It will start rotting. It will start smelling, and we cannot stand it. That's why in our Vedic culture there is a practice of cremation. Then the spiriton, which is providing influence, it spreads, it gives, what do you say? It has an influence over the entire body. We have to figure out where it is present, but before that, you see, अगर किसी ठंडी चीज को हाथ लगता है तो वो ठंडा ठंडा लगता है, और कहीं गर्म को हाथ लगता है तो हम दूर हाथ लगा कर लेते हैं, कहीं फायर में हाथ लगता है तो we try to save ourselves. So like that, those sensations, that awareness. So you can look at spiriton like a micro power plant. It is a power plant which is sending the current in all over the body. Our mind is working because of the current, our heart is working because of the current, our eyes are open because of that, our speaker, that is the mouth, the throat, is working because of the power coming from the spiriton, and so on. Entire function is happening because of that. So consciousness, now you can put a question that, okay, I can't see, but tell me, I can't see the soul or the spiriton, so how to figure out whether it is there or not? So the simple answer is that consciousness, the person is conscious. Person is, even if he is sleeping, he is conscious. Semi-conscious, unconscious, and then the next thing is without consciousness. So without consciousness means the dead matter, whereas semi-conscious and unconscious means a different thing. Okay, temporarily not being conscious because of going to sleep. So consciousness is the symptom of the presence of the spiriton. Now you may say, what is the size of the spiriton? The size of the spiriton is defined in, again, other scriptures like Shetatvara is Upanishad, and the other Upanishad is there is another Upanishad where it is explained that it is 1/10,000 part of a human hair. So that means it is about 10 nanometer. Now it is much too small. It is smaller than the atomic particles. Okay, so nobody has so far got any idea how to see or measure such a small particle. There are, even the most powerful electron microscope cannot see that. What to talk of CAT scan and MRI and all that, X-ray and all that? They can't see that. They can't locate it. Now, where is this located? It is located as per the scriptures again. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that it is located in the region of the heart. Okay. And perception is only by perfect purified intelligence. Okay. If the scientists say, no, I will only believe when I can see, either through naked eyes or through my electronic microscope. No, 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 no. That is not. Here we are talking of not the material thing. Okay, we are talking of something spiritual, and therefore to develop a good understanding of that, one needs to have perfect purified intelligence. Slowly and slowly it can come. It's not that we are saying the material scientist is having lesser intelligence, or no, we are not talking of that. The material knowledge is fine, material intelligence quotient is fine. Here what we are talking about is purified intelligence from the spiritual point of view. So, for example, like, in this atomic particle, you have the neutrons, okay, in the nucleus, and the protons, and then the electrons are circulating all over. And similarly, here in the human body or any living entity, the nucleus is the heart, and the spiriton is residing somewhere in the region of the. One cannot say precisely where, but it is said that it is in the region of the heart. So this is where the spiriton or the soul is residing. Okay. Now going further, so you see what happens is that a human body with spiriton is working perfectly fine. My spiriton is in the right place, and I am able to speak to you, and you guys are able to hear me, and so on. But a material body without spiriton is a dead body. Now, a material body with spiriton will float. Okay. Never mind what is the density of the water and the density of the cell and the body and so on, but it will float. It can float. If it knows how to swim, it can manage, and it can adopt certain postures whereby it can float. But a dead body without spiriton, what will happen? It will sink, and then after some time, when it starts decomposing and then it becomes less dense than the water, then it will come up. So a material body without spiriton and a material body with spiriton, there is a great difference. Okay. So this is the decomposition has started, and density has reduced, and therefore it has started floating. But before that it had sunk because spiriton has left, and therefore it was pulled down by the force of the gravity. Okay. Now the next verse is that antavanta ime deha nitya yokta sharirana anashino pramesyasya tasmadhyasva bharata. Meaning, Krishna is again emphasizing the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, again he is saying, fight, do it, O descendant of Bharata. So you see what happens. Material body with the soul will grow, and then it will come down, and then it will come to the end. But the soul is the same. The spark is the same. It is not changing. So this is what he is saying, that the soul is indestructible. It is immeasurable because it is so small, and it is eternal. It is not going to change. It is, the living entity. That means the spiritual particle or the spiriton will remain on all the time, whereas the body will perish. So don't you worry about it. You're not going to kill the souls. You're only going to kill, you're going to only, release the spiriton from these suffering bodies, which have, either done something wrong or have lived their useful life, and it is now for them to move on. So the body covering of spiriton is actually a function of the work and karma. Okay, so the spiriton will get a body according to its karma, and it can be either a human form of body, or it can be an animal form of body, or a vegetation form of body, or a bird, or a reptile, or a aquatic, or whatever. Okay, so now, so this is one aspect to note. Okay, that the next body, okay, can be anything, but that is dependent on the karma. So one has to be more careful about the karma he is doing in this life. Then the function of the spiriton is to maintain the body. So the heart is pumping, the ventilator, meaning the lungs are working, okay, then the digestion system is working, the eyes are working, the digestion, the blood circulation system is working, everything is perfectly, kidneys are working, the liver is working, the mind is working. So who is running that? That is, some power plant is there inside now, micro power plant, as I said earlier. So he is again saying that, that which has taken birth has to die anyway. So don't you worry, because the soul will continue. It won't die. It doesn't take birth. He will say again in the future, in next slides. And here we have to look at this, that sun is maintaining the entire physical world. Through the light and through what you call the photosynthesis, the plants are converting carbon dioxide into food, and that we are using food. So similarly, the soul is sustaining the body. So it is because of the presence of the body that the functioning of the body happens, the maintenance of the body happens, just like the sun is giving power or the energy to the entire material world. Okay, then in the next one, he says that neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it is slain is in knowledge. Meaning that somebody who says that the living entity is the slayer, that Arjuna will be the killer of the enemy, or he who thinks that the people will be dying because of some reason or the other, he's saying that that person is not in knowledge. Yeah, because for the self slays not, nor is slain. बोलते हैं कि self meaning the spiriton cannot be killed. The spiriton soul is very, very small and therefore impossible to kill it. And it is also not killable because of its spiritual constitution. It is indestructible. It is not killable, and very, very small, therefore impossible to kill anyway. You can't even see it. You can't even कौन सी मिसाइल से उसको किल करोगे, कौन सी तलवार से किल करोगे, कौन से तीर से किल करोगे, नथिंग. कौन सा पॉइजन से किल करोगे? नो, it is not possible to kill. That is what Srila Prabhupada says very, very power emphatically, that the spirit soul is very, very small and therefore impossible to kill it. And therefore, meaning that the spirit soul is invincible and it is eternal. So again, he is dispelling the doubts of Arjuna. Then in 20, this is an important verse. This is a very popular verse and nicely sung. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyo ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So Prabhupada used to quote this last line very often. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So what is this? This verse is again capturing the same thing which Krishna has said earlier. He is saying that for the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He is not come into being. He does not come into being and will not come into being. So in the past, in the present, and in the future, no, it will remain like that. It is not coming into being. He is unborn. The soul is unborn. The spiriton is unborn. He is eternal and ever existing. And primeval. Primeval meaning anadi, aprachin. So he is not slain when the body is slain. So again he is dispelling the doubt of Arjuna that soul will not be killed. Soul will not get annihilated. Even if he starts the war, the battle, and starts killing the enemy. So he should not worry. Okay. So we will have little more discussion on this verse. So spiriton is invincible. The soul neither takes birth nor dies. The soul never comes into being, past, present, or future. The soul is unborn, eternal, and ever existing in primeval. Primeval meaning Adim, Ati Prachin. There is no history, there is no carbon dating of the soul. हाँ, जैसे होता है ना, कई चीजें जो बहुत पुरानी मिलती हैं तो उनकी कार्बन डेटिंग की जाती है कि कितने साल, 2000 साल, 5000 साल, 10,000 साल पुरानी है। नहीं, इसकी सोल की कार्बन डेटिंग कर ही नहीं सकते आप, क्योंकि उसको पकड़ ही नहीं सकते आप। तो कौन से इंस्ट्रूमेंट में डाल के कार्बन डेटिंग करोगे, क्योंकि इट इज सो स्मॉल, 10 nanometer. You can't even have any equipment which can measure. So the soul is not slain when the body is slain. Again and again, the same thing is being given. The spiriton is studied, meaning the soul is not different from the supreme soul. That is another important thing that we have to understand. That supreme soul, Krishna said in the beginning, Mame Vansha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, meaning all the entities, all the living entities, all the spiritons are coming from me only. They are my part and parcel. So they have the same quality. Only thing is the quantity is different. Okay, it's like, you take a droplet of ocean from the ocean, so it will have the same salt content, but the force of the wave of the ocean is phenomenal, whereas the droplet has no force. The quality is same, but quantity is different. So same thing. Meaning it, spiriton and the super spiriton, they are qualitatively non-different. That is one thing we have to remember. Okay, I think we are coming close to the time, but I would request people to hold on, stay on. Some more interesting slides are coming. So the soul is a steady state. It does not undergo any change. Dy by dx is zero. Dx by dt is zero. It doesn't change in mass. It doesn't change in age and anything. And the super soul, the spiriton takes on a material body. And it is the body that takes birth and therefore also dies. The soul doesn't die. So it is the body which will take birth and then again another birth and so on. The cycle will go on into another species or human species according to the karma. So the soul doesn't die. And the spiriton is studied. As it has no past, present, future that we have spoken, then it is eternal, ever existing in primeval. It has no trace in history of its coming into being. And it is unaffected by the changes of the body. So like this is a young lady, then middle-aged lady, and the old lady. The wrinkles have started coming, and here there were no wrinkles. But the soul has no change. And the soul doesn't get any wrinkles. The soul doesn't get any gray hairs. Soul doesn't lose its eyesight. Okay, I can tell you by experience because I'm getting old. Okay, and then it has no byproducts or offshoots. Like, a family will have children. So the soul doesn't have children. Okay, it's the body which creates the children of byproducts. So that again we have to understand. And then we have to develop objectivity with the kith and the kin as you grow old. Okay, further on. So the body of a living entity undergoes 6 changes. Like this, if you draw a graph on the y-axis and x-axis here, so what happens? There is a birth, and then it will grow, and then it will remain for some time, and then it will produce some effect like children, and it will publish some papers and write some books also, maybe, yeah. And then it will dwindle, start going down, and then it will vanish into oblivion here. So this is the graph on the x and y axis. But these changes occur due to the presence of the soul. These things cannot happen if the soul were not there. So you have to recognize that it is all happening because of the micro power plant which is there, which is sustaining. But the soul does not undergo any such changes. Soul will remain like that. The soul will not get, as I said, the wrinkles. It will be always, what do you call, full of potency, full of energy, full of, liveliness, everything. So the soul doesn't have like this. The soul doesn't deteriorate like any material thing. Like this, ये पेड़ को जो है दीमक लग गई और ये गिर गुरा के खत्म हो गया, नहीं. ऐसा नहीं होगा। ये यहाँ पर जैसे है छोटी और ये दादी, तो ये बहुत बूढ़ी हो गई। नो नो नो, सोल इज नॉट गेटिंग ओल्ड. Okay, but still better perception would be that, like an entity that takes birth also has to die anyway. This cycle is here. So it is the body which takes birth and therefore dies. He is explaining it to Arjun, and the soul does not die. Again and again he is explaining the same thing. Now you have to also take this case, like, many times soul does not age. How you can see, like a granddaddy, granddaddy would still like to dress up like a young man. He would like to take a selfie. He would like to go on a party. He would like to go on a safari. He will go on a picnic. He would like to play with his grandchildren. So he has the same desires and spirit. So this old man versus young boy, the spirits are the same. The body is different. Body has aged, but the spirit, the desire, the likings and the dislikings, they are like that. एक बार ना 30 साल पहले एक पिक्चर बनी थी शौकीन, तो उसमें ना 70 साल के लोगों को दिखाया था. They were going with a group of their own same friends of the same age on a holiday, and what kind of stuff they do. So this is how it is. Look at this man who has dressed up like very smart blue color dress, and this is red color Bermuda. Wow, amazing. So that means the consciousness would remain the same. The soul would not display the symptoms of aging. Okay, it's the mind and the intelligence which will tell how to discriminate, how to distinguish, but otherwise it is same. Now again, soul is invincible, but it is forgetful. Spiriton is full of knowledge. That is another aspect we have to understand. The Spiriton is full of knowledge because it is part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is full of knowledge. But the problem is the consciousness of a living entity is different from that of the supreme consciousness. Supreme consciousness knows the past and present and future of all living beings. I mean, आपका भी और मेरा भी सबका पुराना खाता उनके पास में है. He doesn't forget, but we forget, and we have to forget, because if we don't forget, we will be in terrible condition. Because I don't want to remember my past life and my past life and so on. No, इस life का ही अगले दिन का 2 दिन पुराना ही नहीं याद रहता है, तो वही अच्छा है ना? So living entity does not remember. Okay, so this living entity is forgetting, but he is remembering everything. So there is a difference between the super consciousness or the super spiriton and the normal spiriton. Now some people say that I cannot see the soul, therefore I don't believe in its existence. Like, many of the scientists, because of they are being very objective and being rational and being logical. They see, but show me, then only I will accept it. To take the case, like, if for example on some day when there is a cloudy day, okay, and you can't see the sun, but the sun rays are filtering, and you wake up and you see, oh yeah, अब तो दिन हो गया. तो अब जब तक सन तो देखा नहीं, पर लेकिन आप बोल रहे हो कि दिन हो गया, तो कैसे हो गया? क्योंकि हमने मान लिया, हमने समझ लिया कि हाँ भैया, सन जो है निकल आया, सूर्य निकल आया है, पर वो छुपा हुआ है. तो वैसे ही हमें देखना है कि सोल हम देख नहीं सकते, वो छुपी हुई है, क्योंकि इट इज इनविजिबल. It is so infinitesimal, it is so minuscule, it cannot be seen by the material eyes anyway. So simply because of that, you cannot deny the existence of the soul. दूसरा उदाहरण ये है कि भाई जैसे ही मतलब क्लाउड नहीं है, लेकिन मान लीजिए अच्छा पूरा साफ दिन है, लेकिन जैसे ही पहली सन की रेज निकलती है, सन नहीं निकला लेकिन सन की रेज निकलने लग गई, जो डॉन होता है ना, तो उसमें रेज आने लगती है, तो बोलते हैं हाँ अब सूरज दिन होने वाला है. अभी सूरज तो निकला ही नहीं, लेकिन आपने सूरज को मान लिया कि हाँ अब निकलने वाला है. तो वैसे ही यहाँ पर भी एक जो है शरीर अभी एक बहुत बीमार अवस्था में है, लेकिन उसका कॉन्शियसनेस है, वो या तो जो है रिस्पॉन्ड करता है या बात करता है या फिर जो है सांस चल रही है या धड़कन चल रही है, तो उसका मतलब है कॉन्शियसनेस तो है ना. तो यू कैन नॉट से कि because I cannot see the soul, therefore I do not accept the existence of the soul. Now the two types of spiriton, what are these? One is called as Anu Atma. meaning the minute particle soul, spiriton, and Vibhu Atma, meaning the super soul or the super spiriton. Okay, that we have spoken earlier also. I'll give you an analogy. So what happens is that Vibhu Atma is the super soul, and that is coming from here. From here, Krishna is coming to all the living entities. This I have shown you earlier also. So the same thing is being transferred. Energy is being transferred. You know, the spiriton is being transferred from the super spiriton. The Krishna is the fountainhead of the super soul, and he is then fountainhead is spreading all the minute spiriton to all the living entities. Huh? Now the problem with this Anu Atma or the spiriton is that it is forgetful of its nature. It forgets that who am I, where have I come from, what is my purpose of being here, what am I supposed to do here, what am I doing, and where am I going, where I will go, where am I supposed to go back, and if I know where I'm supposed to go back, how would I go? All these things we forget, and we start only doing party, eat, drink, and be merry. Who cares for tomorrow? Like that, you know, because we forget. We tend to forget. Spiriton tends to forget. It doesn't, rotate in its defined orbit. It tends to fall down into lower orbit. Okay, so for that spiriton to continue to rotate either in the same orbit or go to the higher orbit, it requires enlightenment either from Krishna himself or from an empowered authority, a spiritual master who has been empowered by Krishna himself. So once a guru comes in life or once you get associated with Krishna, then you are either operating in the same orbit or you are going into higher orbit with higher energy. Okay. Now take the case, like on a tree, there are two birds sitting. The one bird is enjoying the fruits of the tree and indulging and to its heart's satisfaction eating, unmindful of any other thing. And the other bird is observing the first bird that, okay, you do whatever you want to do. Let me see. Don't you do anything wrong? But do you remember me or not? I have defined the code of conduct and so on. So spiriton and super spiriton are like that. In the same human body, there is this spiriton also and super spiriton also. And he is observing all the activities, okay? All the activities of the body, of the spiriton, in the covering of the body, he is observing. So he is keeping record. So that is the karma. That record is either he himself is keeping or he is keeping it through his, he has delegated it to his authorized representative. Okay. So in every human being, there are two, every living entity, there are two spiritons. One is the normal spiriton, another is the super spiriton. They are all there. And the moment we get that consciousness, we will be so mindful of the thing that whether can I talk anything wrong with anybody, whether, one can indulge in any kind of, undesirable thing, or whether one can kill animals for sense gratification and so on. Yeah. So again, you may ask that, okay, the same thing would be valid for the Kurukshetra battle of war, battle over there. But then there it is permitted because there it is the fight for the religion. It is fight for holding the principle, upholding the principles of the religion. Whereas in the normal course, like killing animals for sense gratification is not permitted. So that kind of consciousness will come. Now, so pre-qualification of capturing the glories of the soul now. So all these all these qualities that we talked about, the super soul and the spiriton, how that is possible, how one can understand, how one can, get a deeper understanding of it, that is not possible for everybody. There is a saying like that not everybody can understand everything, so don't try to explain everything to everybody. Obviously, everybody cannot understand everything. And what is that pre-qualification? So the pre-qualification is that one who has become free from all material desires as well as lamentation, hankering and lamentation, can, by the grace of Supreme, understand the glories of the soul, glories of the super soul. And how? What is that process? Purification of the consciousness. Purification of the consciousness. There is a very well defined process of that, but that we cannot talk now. But it suffices to say that one has to take admission into a proper school to get understanding of that process. And once you do step by step, then you clear the 5th standard and the 10th standard and the 12th standard, and then go all the way to PhD. And then you become qualified to understand the glories of the soul and the super soul. Okay, then Krishna continues that how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? So he's saying that, Arjuna, if you understand that the soul is indestructible and eternal and so on and so forth, then why are you worried? You're not going to kill. They will remain there. So just continue to fight. Just do it. Then this is another powerful and popular verse. Shloka says, Vasanshi jirnani yatha vihaya navani granati naro purani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani behi. Meaning that just as a person puts on new garments, giving up old garments, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless bodies. तो जब बुढ़ापा आ जाता है, so it is time for the soul to move on. The soul cannot expect that, oh no, I will live for 100 years and 125 years and 150 years. No, it is very difficult. जैसे होता है ना, पुराना घर हो जाता है तो फिर उसको नया बनाना ही पड़ता है, और डिमोलिश करके नया बनाना पड़ता है. ये नहीं कि उसी को पुताई कर कुरा के थोड़ा सा रिपेयर कर कुरा के चलाते रहेंगे. तो सिमिलरली बॉडी जो है, अब किडनियों ने काम करना बंद कर दिया, जॉइंट्स ने प्रॉब्लम दे दी, एंड सो ऑन, आंखें दिखना बंद हो गई, दिमाग में भी जो है मस्तिष्क की कैपेसिटी कम हो गई, एंड सो ऑन. तो इसलिए देन बॉडी सोल बोलती है कि नहीं, मेरे को अब घर बदलना है, नया घर में जाना है ना. तो वही ऐसा ही होता है. या कपड़े फट जाते हैं तो फिर कितना सिलाई कर करके काम चलाओगे? नहीं, अब बोलते हैं नया. नहीं, अमेजॉन है ना, अमेजॉन है, चलो क्या नाम है, फ्लिपकार्ट है ना, नया वाला सूट ऑर्डर करते हैं. तो सेम थिंग, द बॉडी सेज ओके, नाउ आई वांट टू चेंज. सो दिस इज अ ब्यूटीफुल वर्स. Says Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. Vasansi means the cloths. Okay, so this is a beautiful verse. Like this, here is shown. He is, giving up the cloths, and he is also changing the body. Okay, so again Krishna is emphasizing that nenam chidnanti shastrani, nenam dahati pavaka, na chena cho adyatya danti apo, na shoshayati maruta. This is again a very popular verse, and very often you will see it in the newspaper. When people, put what is called obituaries for the departed ones. So the soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. So जैसे यहाँ पर ये जो है दिखाया हुआ है, नो, the soul will not get burnt. या ये कुल्हाड़ी से जो है पेड़ को काट रहा है, हम इसको सोल को नहीं काट सकते. वैसे ये जो है, ये ब्रह्मोस और शौर्या और जो है कौन सी मिसाइलें हैं, उसके कितने भी वहां पे बम फटा के फोड़ो, लेकिन सोल को कुछ नहीं होने वाला. बॉडी को हो जाएगा जो कुछ. या फिर जो है, ये पेड़ खत्म हो गया, तेज हवा और बारिश, क्या नाम, तेज हवा और धूप और पानी वानी नहीं मिलने के चलते, बट नहीं, सोल, नथिंग हैपेंस टू द सोल. सोल विल रिमेन लाइक दैट. दिस इज अगेन अ ब्यूटीफुल वर्स. So now the other thing out of this is that Spiriton came into existence due to ignorance. Spiriton revolted. Spiriton separated from the super Spiriton because of ignorance. And atomic and eternally individual, but they are eternally atomic. They are atomic size and they are eternally individual. But they are prone to be covered by illusory energy, that is Maya, the material energy of this physical world, the Spiriton, as compared to super Spiriton. Super Spiriton is immune. He is controller. He is above the Maya. So Spiriton rebels against the super Spiriton and then gets separated from the Supreme. So just like this fire and the this चिंगारियां, अब ये चिंगारियां जब दूर हो जाती हैं तो it doesn't have the same potency as the fire. तो थोड़ी देर में जाके क्या होगा, ये बुझ जाएंगी, लेकिन ये फायर तो चलती रहेगी. The fire will continue. Whereas this जो चिंगारियां जो होती हैं, the sparks, The sparks do not have the same potency, don't have the same heat content. They cannot, if they fall on the right place on the dry grass, then they can light. But if they fall on the wet ground or on the wet on the water surface, they will get extinguished. So same thing is with us. If we, because we rebelled against the super spiriton, we wanted to enjoy independently the spiriton. Therefore, it is now losing the potency. It is falling in from the orbit, higher orbit to lower orbit. However, the other thing is that eternally separated parts and parcel of the supreme. The spiriton is eternally separated parts and parcel. It will remain as an it will not merge with the supreme spiriton. It will remain eternally. It has to remain, its constitutional identity is to remain eternally part and parcel, eternally separated, but still part and parcel. So that is another virtuous quality of the thing. And even after liberation, if after, liberation meaning attainment of the self-realization, or after purification of the consciousness and attaining higher orbits, it remains the separate identity. It doesn't merge. It doesn't merge with the supreme, spiriton, super spiriton. It will remain. It may enter into the nucleus, but it will remain as a separate spiriton. Like in the nucleus, you can have multiple neutrons and multiple protons. Okay. So now the next one is, he's saying that the individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and it can be neither burned or dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. So the same thing again and again is being, the theory of monism is debunked. Here, there is a theory, there is a school of thought that after death, everything is one. And even before death also, everything is one. You are also God, me, I'm also God. Everybody is God. So let us create a God 11 and play cricket. Or let us play football, God 11. No. That is not there. We are eternally separate. Part and parcel, but eternally separate. And he is ever present. Ever all pervading. He is everywhere. He is everywhere, all pervading. So, like, merging. So then some say that, after the end of the body, after the end of this life, the soul goes into Brahma Jyoti. This is called Brahma Jyoti, where it enters. But then there is a smarter way. Thing is to go all the way to the abode of the God. That is, a smart thing is to aspire for a spiritual planet rather than remaining on an outer planet. Why don't go to the abode of the God directly? And so that is like, falling into the nucleus, entering into the nucleus, getting entry into the nucleus, rather than entering into the, the orbits closer to the nucleus, orbit number 1, 2, 3, and or the higher orbit, like that. So the theory of monism is a flawed theory. And the other thing is, one can understand is that here it is said sarvagata. Sarvagata means all pervading. The spiriton can exist at all places. Meaning, Srila Prabhupada says that a spiriton in a suitable body can even exist on sun. What to talk of simply the earth or any other planets which are very cold. It can even live on the sun with a proper body, fireproof body. Okay, the next one is, it is said that the soul is invincible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. He is again motivating Arjuna. The infinitasm. So the other thing is that you said this is invisible. You can, so you can't see. Even if you bring best of the electron microscope, most powerful microscope, you cannot see that. The other thing is that the infinitesimal can never become one with the infinite. It is always, that is, soul is invisible, inconceivable, immutable, and infinitesimal. And so it will remain as it is. It will remain, it will retain its individual constitutional identity. So some school of thought says that they will merge with the God. They will become one with the infinite. No, that is not possible. Infinitesimal will remain infinitesimal. It cannot become with the one with the infinite and then start calling himself as infinite. No, that will not happen. Okay, the next one is all created beings are unmanifested in the beginning, manifest in the interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So, what is the need for a lamentation? So, this is like the law of conservation of energy. Okay, that in the beginning, the energy was in the coal, then it was burnt, and then it was burnt and converted into electricity. And after electricity, it got converted into sound or into light or whatever. Yeah, so like that. Similarly, here he is saying that living entities in the beginning they were unmanifest, then they take birth, they take body, and then after some time they disappear. So the living entity, the soul will remain. The body will change. So what is the need for lamentation? Then this is an amazing, this is called an amazing verse. Okay, Krishna says in 2.29, some look on the soul. So because of such, amazing qualities of the soul, Krishna says that some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing. While others, even after hearing about him, because of the lack of faith, lack of belief, lack of surrender, lack of trust in the knowledge coming from straight from the Supreme Lord. They, even after hearing them, they have doubts, and then therefore they cannot understand at all. They cannot understand him at all. So this is the predicament. Some people keep arguing and arguing and arguing just for the sake of argument. Also, they argue instead of accepting the knowledge coming all the way from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that the nature of the soul and the spiriton and the super spiriton, what it is, what he has just summarized in these few verses. So last one is the O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Again, he's saying that the soul can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living entity, living being. Okay. So now last thing is conclusion is that, so what is this, spiriton and super spiriton, what is the relationship between these two? Okay. So, this is a painting, is a beautiful painting, is a very famous painting by Michelangelo, and the title is creation by the creation of Adam. This is God and this is Adam, the human, the first human being. And God is doing Wi-Fi transfer. He's transferring energy. He's transferring data. Okay, and he is transferring, the life force. He's transferring what is that? Spiriton. Super spiriton is transferring one of the spiriton into this body. Okay. So this is the profound thing that is coming. That is what Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, that everybody is created out of me. And this is what Michelangelo has depicted in his painting, which is there in one of the churches on the ceilings of one of the churches in Italy. And in our scripture, our Vedic knowledge, our Vedic Sanskriti says that Krishna says, Mame Vansha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Everybody is my part and parcel. They are all my friends. So the sooner we accept this fact, sooner we realize that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are part and parcel. We have an eternal relationship with him. And then we surrender to him and we follow his word. And we take guidance from him, like this way Arjuna is taking when he got completely bewildered and he didn't want to fight. So he said, no, I am surrendering to you, and you better give me now the knowledge, how to do it, how to go forward, how to fight, how to win the battle. So, this Krishna will, once you surrender to him, then what happens? Krishna says, okay, now my child, I will do the Wi-Fi data transfer. I will transfer the knowledge. I will bring a guru for you. I'll give you the good guidance. I'll send you good books. Okay. And he will, through his agents, also help us in sharpening our receiver. हाँ, और जो ब्लूटूथ जैसे काम करता है ना, तो ब्लूटूथ कई बार काम नहीं करता है क्योंकि खराब हो जाता है, लेकिन कई डिवाइसेस का ब्लूटूथ बहुत बढ़िया काम करता है. वाईफाई डेटा ट्रांसफर बहुत बढ़िया चलता है ना. वो कितना बोलते हैं, वो डेटा पिक्सल कितना होता है, whatever it is, megapixel and whatever. So that knowledge, with that knowledge and with that data transfer, slowly and slowly we will acquire the escape velocity. Okay, escape velocity, and we will get out of the cycle of birth and death. That is the purpose of spiriton in the human form of body. Human form of body is where you have the privilege of intelligence, and thinking and discrimination. So with that we can do that. Otherwise, without this grace of the God, without this data transfer, without the mercy, we may not have that. And we have to aspire for that. We have to work for that. It doesn't come on its own. So spiriton can serve the super spiriton and acquire escape velocity and get out of the misery of the material condition life. This is how the whole thing is. Okay, so with this I bring it to the end of this presentation. There are some links on further understanding. One is called Vedabase, and the other is joincourse.com, where you can learn, you can have ultimate self-realization course. Daily email is coming on that. And the other one is called desiretree.com, where again you have a lot of interesting articles available. So with that, your spiriton, you can connect with the super spiriton and make a life blissful, happy and cheerful. Thank you very much.